So I'm just going down to the bus stop, get down to Smithfield again, get some greens and what have you. Oh, cheap gin, of course, that's number one priority. Ran out, had an alcohol-free day last night. It was good. I do enjoy those breaks from drinking. You enjoy it more when you don't drink as often. God, there's people out mowing everywhere now. The bus just went by now, so that's it. I'm a little early, but it could be coming back early, so good thing to do. Yeah, a lot of people out doing mowing. We did have a fair bit of rain, so I suppose people are taking the opportunity of the dry weather to do that. But it's life in suburbia. That sort of droning sound in the background's pretty typical. So yeah, I'm going to head off to the supermarket, get some greens. Hopefully something a bit different to spinach, because I mean I'm getting big packs of spinach. And unfortunately, it's wasting. It doesn't seem to last the distance in this weather, even if it's in the fridge. So might even get some snow peas. Might see if I can grow some snow peas. I mean, the ginger's going brilliantly, so I can grow stuff. I've just got to start pulling my finger out and try to get some greens happening. I've got the tropical green stuff is growing in the back. It's actually a climbing plant, and it's doing rather well. It's got big, thick, waxy leaves, but apparently they can be eaten. So that's a possibility. Just basically just got to break off some and see what it's like. It might be quite nice. It just doesn't feel quite right, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's edible. So they're doing okay, but that's about the only greens that I'm growing at the moment, apart from capsicums. And I just want something like peas or beans or something like that to augment it. That would be good, because that's the one thing I can't get fresh. The other thing, you might get some frozen green vegetables at the supermarket today, because like I say, they're just not lasting the distance. And I don't know if it's really wise for me to buy a $5 pack. Maybe I'm better off getting the $3 pack. But I might get the ingredients for a salad tonight, we'll see. But I've got some other stuff I need to eat as well, so oh boy. Yeah, I couldn't imagine riding the push bike up to Clifton Beach today. That'd be tough. Yeah, I had a bit of drama with I'm just trying to get my passport back, and that's from Canberra, where the Thai embassy is. And you think it'd be a simple process, but no, it's not. Because I was under the impression that they were processing my visa application, and I assumed it would automatically be sent back when it's finished. But no, the information I got from them was ambiguous, and what had happened is that they were waiting on payment, even though I told them specifically that I'd put the cash into the actual passport. Someone might have lifted that, or the person who replied to me just didn't read the bloody email I sent, and I was just left hanging for over a week. I just clarified yesterday, they still wanted the money for the visa. And I said, well, I'm not even going overseas. I don't really care about that. Please just send the passport back. Before that, I had to actually tell them what my passport number was again, even though it was in the thread of emails that I'd sent them. But they're very frustrating to deal with, the staff at the Royal Thai Embassy in Canberra. I'm finding it really difficult. People in Thailand are fine in private business. The people do in hotels and restaurants, they're brilliant generally. They're very good with customer service. When it comes to government, forget it. So yeah, very, very disappointed. But finally I've got a tracking number. They've sent it back, and I should get it about Wednesday next week, so I'll finally get my passport back. But no thanks to them. I doubt very much whether the $60 cash is actually still inserted in the passport. I think some light fingers might have picked it up, but we'll see. I might be wrong on that one. Hopefully I am, and I'll get my cash back. But I told them I'd sent the cash, and they just said, oh, okay, thanks. And that's all I heard from. So I assumed, well, if that's the case, they must have found it and they're processing the visa. But no. Oh, anyway, I don't really want the visa in there. I'm not going to go over to Thailand because of all the hassles involved. And so it's a non-issue, but it's just disappointing in the way they operate. Because I do use my passport for ID purposes, so like today picking up the gin for instance, but I've got a photocopy which I'll have to use. Anyway, that's my little update for the day. Hopefully I'll get everything I need to get done today at the shops, and come back and have my coffee, which I always look forward to in the morning, my filtered coffee. Hello everyone, it's another hump day, Wednesday, the 12th, that's right, it's the 12th of January, and I'll be heading off down south in a little while, so that'll be a nice change down to Brisbane. It's been very, very damp here in the last 48 to 72 hours. I've taken a real soaking as a part of the cyclone. I think it was Tiffany that hit the Cape north of us and dumped a crap load of water here, and you can see the moisture everywhere. I've got some footage that you've no doubt just seen, so indicating that. And so it's quite damp, but it's actually much more pleasant. It's taken the edge off the heat, so there's, it's an ill wind, as they say. So good to see that that's been the case. I've had some really good news back from the Thai embassy in Canberra, and it was supposed to come today, but actually turned up on Monday, so that was a big surprise. But the biggest surprise of all is that the $60 that I'd actually enclosed to pay for the visa was still sitting inside the bloody passport. It's worked in my favour because I don't want a visa now from Thailand because I'm not going there. So I opened up the passport and couldn't believe it. The cash was still sitting there inside the passport. No one had actually looked at it. So they haven't got light fingers, they're honest, I'll give them that. It still cost me over $20 to send it through with the registered mail, because I had to send it via registered mail and send a return envelope. So it was over $20 in total, but it was still better than paying $80 or more. So that was a right nice bonus. I didn't expect that. So that was good news. I didn't have such great news today because I actually got online with Jetstar to see if I could get some money back on the fares that I'd paid for the tickets. No way you can get any response at all. It's all, look, they want to cut the human element out. I can't even email them and just plead my case to them. I just don't want to know. The only thing that will help me is if they change the fare rules with these particular tickets, because things are getting from bad to worse in Thailand when it comes to being a tourist. I've watched a couple of blogs from recent people over there, and they have basically said that the chances of getting quarantined are quite high now, with the Omicron variant has gone through the whole population, and they say that 50% of the people they know have got Omicron. So it's more than likely that you're going to be tested positive now. So if you're travelling over there as a short-term tourist, you're crazy in my opinion, because chances of you being quarantined either in your hotel room if you're lucky, or in an alternate hotel room if you're not so lucky, and if you're really unlucky, you might end up in a hospital, which would probably be my case, because I'm over 60 years of age. And I think that even though they're very short of hospital beds now because of the incredible demand put on their hospital service,
I still think they'd probably bundle me off there, and they'd have to pay for a hospital bed at my own expense and be miserable and then being a prisoner in a bloody hospital for a couple of weeks. No, thank you. So I've got no regrets cancelling out on the trip. I think it was a really smart move, and I'm watching with interest people that have actually travelled over there, how they're going. There's an English guy who's just he did a voluntary quarantine in his room. It was very strange. His hotel was very casual about it, and he's actually now tested himself negative, and he apparently, because there's so much Omicron floating around, you don't have to do a PCR test to return to the UK. They've changed the rules because it's just everywhere. So that's a slight improvement. But places like Patong, it's terrible. There's just no. There's just the opening hours for serving alcohol has now been reduced from 11 till 9 p.m. Looks like Bangalore Road's been shut down. It's just, like I say, it's getting from bad to worse. It's terrible. So if you want to go there and have a few drinks with expats and travellers and what have you, forget it. The opportunities are drying up, and they're clamping down on things like mask wearing and stuff. So everything's getting harder. It's just not worth it. Now, regarding this T-shirt, apparently I really upset one of the people that watch my channel. He just said, lose the T-shirt. Well, sorry, buddy, I don't kowtow to your requirements. If you don't like it, watch something else. Simple as that. But I couldn't believe how some of these people that visit channels, they think they've got power over you. They're not giving any dough. They're not providing you with anything really, apart from negative feedback. And then they expect you to basically fit in with what they request. So I find it extraordinary. By the way, I'd like to just start well, it won't be an ongoing segment, but I'll have it this week anyway, and that's Karen of the Week. And Karen of the Week is a girl by the name of Dana Finlay Morrison. What a wanky name. And she's actually Karen of the Week because she actually reported a pilot in American Airlines to the management because they had the audacity of having a Let's Go Brandon small sticker on their luggage that she noticed. The joke of this is that I don't like any politics with these companies. I wish they'd just get out of it and just get back to basics and just try to make money and forget about the politics. But I'm afraid that horse has bolted. But the irony of this is that the same airline, American Airlines, has people wearing Black Lives Matter badges, so they are political anyway. But of course, in the case of a princess like Dana Finlay Morrison, who only looks through a left-wing prism, of course she's a university educated from Boston and now got a job in a college at a university in Missouri. And some wanky job where she's advising young students. Her interests are feminism and she's a passionate reality TV fan. She sounds like a real intellectual. Mind you, I've got to admit, I do like my gold mining reality show, so I probably shouldn't be pointing the finger on that one. But I can't believe that someone feels passionate about Biden, that they don't actually want to run to his defence. But I don't think the pilots should have anything that's political on their stuff. I think in a position like that, you probably shouldn't. But I don't think the airline should allow anyone to wear Black Lives Matter badges either. I think it should be consistent. And she got roasted on Twitter apparently for being a huge Karen. So she's actually had to, and of course being the great ferocious female warrior that she is, she bloody made her Twitter account private so she wouldn't get any she'd make it a safe space from criticism. I mean, this is so typical of these people these days. They've no backbone. They're just, but they don't mind slinging it, but they can't take it. So that makes you Karen of the week, Dana Finlay Morrison, you little princess. Yeah, she's taken heaps for it. So there is some justice in this world, thank God. Yeah, the rain was so bad that I really got to check the guttering. I've been meaning to do it. That's why I bought that damn ladder. So yeah, I want to get everything ship-shape before I travel, of course. It'll only be a short trip, this one, down to Brizzy. And I'm relieved I'm not going to Thailand. I'm disappointed, sure, but again, there's nothing there for me now. It's not the Thailand that I remember. It's a totally different place. And yeah, I probably would have had a good time in Bangla Road during normal times, but not now. It's just, you just don't know if anything's going to be happening, what freedoms you're going to have, if any, or whether you're going to be shoved into a prison for a couple of weeks, and have to pay for the privilege. Not good. I just don't get it. And I've lost. I got an on sale ticket with Jetstar, which appeared to be quite a good deal. Well, it was a $350 return to Phuket from Sydney, and that seemed pretty good at the time. But during COVID times, there's no such thing as a bargain like that. You've got to get tickets that provide you with the flexibility that you say you can convert the ticket into a credit. I would never buy a ticket like that again until things finally, the dust settles on this COVID crap, because there's just too much uncertainty. So what pisses me off though is that you know, they give me zero money back on that fare, even though you'd think by cancelling it they could at least sell it to someone else. But it seems very pig-headed of me, because now, because they're not going to provide me with any of the fixed costs that go with travel, so things like you've got to pay certain airport fees and what have you, they're not going to give me a cent back on any of that, which means it's a disincentive for me to cancel the ticket now, which means then they could resell it. I don't understand how corporates work that way. They're just crazy. And I've also got I've lost a couple of $100 with quite cheap tickets from Cairns to Sydney, my connecting flight. I don't like connecting flights anyway, because it's just a pain in the arse if they don't connect properly. Where do you stand with the company that you've got the flights with? I did it all with Jetstar, so I'd hope that if they had problems getting from Cairns down to Sydney, then they would actually come to the party and give me another flight on the trip to Phuket. But who knows? Who knows? They're being fairly hard-ass with me on this, and it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm not happy about it, and so it's thumbs down to Jetstar on this one. And like I say, my advice to anybody is, if you're travelling, especially overseas, make sure you get a flexible ticket that you can change. It's essential these days, really is, because no one knows what's happening. Oh, the other thing that happened to me yesterday just shows another thing about this COVID thing, how everything seems to be turning to the proverbial. I put another order in for a delivery yesterday, and I wanted to get it delivered. This was on Sunday night I was doing this. I wanted to get it delivered Tuesday morning, but there were no slots available, so I had to go for Tuesday afternoon. And one of the items I'd actually ordered was toilet paper. They couldn't fill that order. I hate the way that happens. You put the order in, then you get a note. A late note just a few hours before the delivery saying that they can't send such and such an item. And the other one was mineral water, the 4 bottles of mineral water, that neither of those items that they've included. And so that's pretty disappointing. And on top of that, they didn't deliver it in the time frame that they said they would. It was supposed to be between 3:50 in the afternoon and 4:50, and it ended up being after about 20 minutes to 7 they actually got it to me. So that was within the big time frame, but that's never happened before. They've always, when they've narrowed it down to that shorter time frame of an hour, they've actually delivered in that time. This time they were way out. So not very happy with Coles delivery on two fronts this time. So it's just an indication that they're probably flat chat. We've had the lousy weather on top of the fact that supply chains are stuffed. Life's getting tougher, there's no doubt about it. And I think 2022 is going to be a tough year, unfortunately. I'm not very optimistic at all. I've just got a horrible feeling this is going to be a very, very hard year. I mean, China's going to be in for a shocker, and that's going to affect Australia, of course. So that's another given. It's going to be really hard all round, I'm afraid. I'd like to be more optimistic, but and of course with this guy in the White House, that doesn't exactly inspire hope either. And America, when America sneezes, the whole world catches a cold, and for us it's the same with China now. So tough times ahead, I'm afraid. Wish I could be more optimistic. Oh, at least my ginger's doing well. That's growing well. That's doing particularly well. And the Webb telescope, the James Webb telescope, seems to all be in good shape. They've opened up the main mirror, and it's going out to be about 1 million or so miles away from the Earth, and it's about 7.5 times stronger capturing light than the Hubble telescope. So she'll get some great visual images, but he also has incredible infrared capacity, which means he'll be able to delve deeper into the past, a couple of 100 million years after the Big Bang, apparently, which is it's just getting fairly fine-tuning with the Big Bang. So that's pretty impressive stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a quantum leap in capacity. So that's fairly good. On the other hand, you've got the Starship seems to be delayed. That's the huge, big improvement with rocketry. And all these people there seems to be a lot of enemies of Elon Musk and SpaceX who are holding him back, and it's a bit of a worry actually. So yeah, there's quite a few clouds on the horizon in 2022. Hopefully we'll finally be over the COVID hysteria, and then we can hopefully move on. But I think we need a new batch of leadership throughout the world too, that's a bit more rational, with a bit more common sense, but I can't see it happening overnight. So that's it. As another plane flies overhead, I'll leave you to it. Hope you have a great day. Hope there's a bit of sun where you are. There's been a little bit today. It's a bit better weather than it was yesterday, but I don't want it to be super hot and steamy either, so there are positives to this. So have a great day. Please give me thumbs up, thumbs down, comment on the video, and think about supporting the channel by getting those submersible subs to me.